I'm Cordelia, and today I have a 25-minute morning full body stretch. So as we begin practice, feel free to close down the eyes or take this time to grab your mat and get situated. This one is going to be for the whole body, releasing you into the rest of your day. After you've closed down the eyes, arrive at your mat and come to a tabletop position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Really engage through the core to begin, and then inhale, drop the belly, and lift the gaze, pushing the ground away. Exhale, round the spine, bring chin to chest. Inhale, lift the gaze, really pulling the hips up towards the sky, and exhale to round. Inhale and exhale. Keeping breath with movement and leaning into this practice with your eyes closed. On this last one, shift your hips over to the right, shift your gaze, and then round your hips and gaze down and over to the left. Allowing a bend in the arms if that comes with the movement. Inhale when the gaze lifts and exhale when the gaze drops. On this next one, switch sides. Rounding the spine one way. Creating a nice big circle with the hips and with the head. Just one more. And on this last one, find a neutral spine, tuck onto the toes, and set the hips back on the heels. Inhale and exhale, shift the body forward past the wrists. Inhale, set the hips back. And exhale, shift the body forward for a little bit of a wrist and foot stretch. Let's do one more. On this next one, start to take circles one way, around the wrists, really stretching them out. I know in the morning they feel tight, or even at the end of the day, the previous night. Letting the breath flow naturally here. Switch directions if you haven't already. Keeping your core engaged. And really stretching out the wrists as much as you can. On this next one, turn your right hand so the wrist is facing the front of the mat and your toes are facing the knee. Engage through the core. And either stay here or slowly start to move your hips back, creating a deeper stretch in the wrist, allowing the wrist to lift off from the mat. Or again, just staying in that tabletop position. Close down the eyes, take deep breaths, as this may be a very intense stretch. Come back to neutral. Turn the right hand forward and then switch sides, bringing the left fingertips facing towards the knee. Again, stay here in a tabletop position with the left arm straight, or start to pull the hips backwards, lifting the left wrist up off the mat. Be gentle with yourself here. I know in a lot of cases I can't stretch any deeper, and that is just fine. Do what feels good within your body. Keep breathing. And come back to neutral, bringing both fingertips back towards the mat. Bringing both fingertips facing the knees. And either keeping the arms straight or again bringing the hips to the heels. Keep breathing. Close down the eyes. Really feel into this stretch. We use our forearms and our wrists so much more than we realize. Come back to neutral. And now turn your fingertips to face the front of the mat. Ground down through the toes. Engage the core. And lift the knees a few inches off of the mat. And hold. Bear pose is not an easy pose. So be patient with yourself. Pull your shoulder blades away from one another and push the mat away. And exhale, set the hips back, straightening out through the legs for your first downward facing dog of practice. Walk your dog, bend one knee and then the other. Arriving into this position with patience and gentleness. Bending your knees as much as you need. And slowly settling into your downward facing dog. Inhale here. Ears between the forearms. And exhale, let it all go. Inhale, lift the heels off the mat. Ripple the body forward, but exhale, come back to bear pose. Good. Inhale and exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths per movement here. Inhale, ripple the body forward. Bend through the knees. Exhale, bear pose. Inhale when you arrive. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do several more. Flowing with the pace of your own breath. Inhaling before and exhaling at downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple the body forward. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, downward facing dog. On this next one, we will add on. So inhale, ripple the body forward, bend through the knees. Exhale, bear pose. Inhale, bend deeply through the knees, setting the hips back towards the heels. And exhale, straighten out through the legs, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple the body forward, bear pose. Exhale, and inhale, set the hips back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's just do a couple more here, flowing with the movement, arriving in each position and into the next, following the breath and your body. Keep going. On your next downward facing dog, take an inhale. Exhale, look forward and walk the feet all the way to the front of the mat, meeting the wrists. Inhale, fingertips come high onto the mat. Lift the gaze, halfway lift, and exhale to fully come into your forward fold. Feel free to keep the fingertips grounded or grab onto opposite elbow. Sway back and forth, nod the head yes or no. Be sure to be hinging in the hips, keeping the legs straight, shifting the body forward if necessary, and bending through the knees if necessary. Inhale, bring fingertips to mat, halfway lift, and exhale, grab onto each big toe with your peace fingers and pull your forehead closer to the legs. Start by keeping the knees bent, and on every exhale, work on straightening the legs even more. Let the elbows splay outwards to the side, and just keep breathing. Good. Release the grasp of the toes. Bend through the knees. Inhale, lift the gaze, lift the arms above the head. Straighten out through the body for a standing position. Feel free to point both point fingers to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, dive the body forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Back into plank, and on your next exhale, chaturanga, bend through both elbows. And inhale, untuck the feet, upward facing dog, keeping a bend in the elbows if necessary. Drop the chest all the way down, tuck onto the toes, lift the hips, exhale, plank. Inhale, bend through the knees, setting the hips back towards the heels like before. And exhale, straighten out through the legs, downward facing dog. We're going to do that 2 more times. Heel toe the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, bring arms above the head, taking a light back bend if that feels good. Exhale, dive the body forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold, hop back, or step back for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and release the chest. Exhale, plank. Inhale, crouching downward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And inhale, walk the feet forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold, step or hop back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, release the chest, tuck onto the toes, lift up into plank. Crouching downward facing dog and downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky. And exhale, bring left knee to left tricep. Set the left knee down towards the left wrist and the left ankle down towards the right wrist for pigeon pose. Find a comfortable position here, making sure that the spine is long and the crown of the head shining up towards the sky. Feel free to start to walk your hands back towards your back toes, and also, or maybe, coming into an extended pose, bringing the arms above the head. But whenever you're ready, exhale brings you down to your forearms, breathing all along the way, being gentle with your body. Make sure your hips are square to the mat, really pulling the left hip back and the right hip forward. Feel free to stay long in the spine, with the chest lifted, and still staying long in the spine as you bring your forehead all the way down to the mat, if that's available to you. Relax here for just a moment, really breathing into those spots that feel really tight in the body, kind of noticing where it is. And when you do notice, exhale and let that pain or that tightness go. Inhale, walk the hands back up to a seat if you aren't there already, and either stay here or bend through the right knee, grabbing on to the ankle with the right hand. Gently start to pull your right heel closer to your glutes, and then releasing. Roll on to both sit bones, facing the right side of your mat now. Flex out through the right foot and bring your left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Inhale brings your left arm up and over, and exhale to fold over to the right, bringing the right forearm down to the mat. Lift your gaze past your right armpit and close down the eyes, really breathing and releasing. It's the morning, so be gentle with yourself. Check on your right foot to make sure it hasn't splayed outwards and that the toes are still facing the sky. Take one deep inhale here. And exhale to release. Bring the left fingertips down to the mat, as well as the palm. Fingertips are facing the front of the mat. And inhale to come up onto the left knee, bringing your right arm up and over and bringing your gaze up towards the sky. You're supporting your body with the inside of your right foot. And inhale, turn the body towards the mat, bringing your left knee under your left hip. Exhale, lift your right leg up to the sky and lift your left arm up as well. Inhale to prepare, and exhale, bring left knee to right elbow. Inhale to lengthen, and exhale to bring everything together. Let's just do 3 more here. Exhaling to engage through the core. And inhale to lengthen. 2. Good. And 1. Bring your left hand down, tuck onto the left toes. Inhale and exhale to come into 3-legged dog with your right leg up in the sky. Exhale, bring right knee to right tricep, and then drop the right knee down for your pigeon pose. Same thing, just on this side. Gently close down the eyes, bring the fingertips to the mat, and maybe you can walk them back towards your hips, and then maybe even towards your left thigh. Again, be gentle with yourself. One side may be tighter than the other. If you're able to bring your arms above the head, please do so. Then on your next exhale, releases your body all the way down onto the forearms to start. Again, square off the hips to the mat here. And if you feel ready for it, you can bring your forehead all the way down to the mat. Or stack your hands on top of one another and bring your forehead to the top of the hands. Or you can stay here on the forearms just as I am. Inhaling and exhaling. If you want to take this time to lift the chest up and bend through the left knee, grabbing onto the left ankle with the left hand, please do so now. If not, gently come up and turn the sit bones onto the mat, bringing the right foot on the inside of the left thigh and flexing out through the left foot. Inhale brings right arm up and over, and exhale to gently drop the left hand on the inside of the left leg, and even the left elbow and forearm all the way down. Keep breathing, keep extending the right arm up and over. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, bring your left hand down to the mat, behind the right hip, bringing the fingertips to face the front of the mat. Lift the hips up gently, bringing the left arm up and over, lifting the gaze up towards the sky. Inhale and exhale brings you to your one-legged tabletop position. Exhale, or on your next exhale, lift your left leg up and your right arm up. Engage through the core, inhale to prepare, and exhale to bring elbow to knee. Again, let's do 4 more here. Do them at your own pace, really lengthening out on every inhale and crunching everything together on every exhale. Last one. Drop the right hand down to the mat, tuck onto the right toes, and step both feet back for downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Drop the shoulders. Release the gaze. Straighten out through both legs. Draw the heels down to the mat. Relax the face muscles, starting with the jaw. In the middle of the eyebrows, the eyes and the forehead. Just breathe here for a while as we slowly taper off of our fast-paced movement for the morning. Inhale, let the belly rise. And exhale, drop the knees to a hover. We've been here before. Bear pose, engage through the core. Pull the shoulder blades away from one another and really push the ground away. We're here for another 20. tucking the toes under, pulling the knees to a hover. No pressure for anything here. You're just in stillness in this pose. Your gaze is at the top of the mat. Your neck is long, your spine is straight. You're looking good. Keep breathing. And exhale to drop the knees all the way down. Untuck through the toes. Bring big toes together and bring the knees further apart from one another. Exhale to gently set the hips all the way back for a well-deserved child's pose. Release the elbows down. Let the armpits really feel heavy here. Again, just letting the shoulder blades fall without any pressure. Down towards the ground and to the mat. We're here for another 10. Inhale and exhale. Good. Take one more deep belly breath, letting the belly rise in between the thighs. And exhale to let it all go. Gently lift the gaze. Walk the hands back towards the knees and gently bring the knees back together. And tuck onto the toes one last time. Let's stretch out the feet. Set the hips back on the heels. Let the shoulders fall back behind you, creating a long, strengthening spine. Crown up towards the sky. And close down the eyes, bringing the palms to the tops of the thighs. If this is too much for you, feel free to untuck the toes, but I urge you to stay. You're about to enter a day of a bunch of adventures, and you want your feet and your grounding spots to be ready for it. Again, keep breathing. Open up the eyes and clasp the fingertips behind the back body, lifting the chest up towards the sky. You're ready for the day, and you're worth it to come into this next day. Exhale, release the arms out in front of you, rounding through the spine. And when you feel ready for it, wrap the arms around the body, giving yourself a nice big hug. You've shown up for your day, and you've shown up for yourself. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one. I greatly look forward to it. Bye.